Hi, I'm Dr. Donald DeFabio, and today we're going to talk about psoriasis. That's right, psoriasis. Look at this picture, 14-year-old girl. That's psoriasis. And guess what? In 2 months, this is what her back looked like without drugs or medication, all natural treatment. Let's find out how. My guest today is Dr. John Pagano. Dr. Pagano, thanks for coming out today.
My pleasure.
Now, you're a chiropractic doctor, correct?
Yes.
And how did you get involved with treating psoriasis?
A very interesting question. I did not aim for it, but I was an intern at Spears Chiropractic Hospital in Denver.
Wow, sure.
And right at a graduation, I went right out to internship. And there they had an entire wing kind of separated for psoriatic patients as well as eczema cases. And I had a lot to do with the treatment of those people. But at the time, there was nothing really for them. They came for the sun of Denver. And
well, that's everyone knows getting out in the sun is supposed to be good for psoriasis, and you put some liniments on the skin is basically the standard treatment, correct?
That is the most popular treatment, right. However, just don't get sunburned. And now they've definitely established that ultraviolet light, that is the artificial sunlight, is cancerous.
Okay, sure.
But natural sunlight definitely is a help toward it, but always in moderation. And so people came there, and we gave them different measures for health in general, but we didn't talk about diet whatsoever. I mean, it wasn't even hinted at, either medically or chiropractically. There was just no answer to that. And then the patients that I met, I became very friendly with, and it just got to me. Something happened within me that made me keep an interest in this disease, and I have no reason to. I don't have it. My family doesn't have it, nobody. And but I just had a feeling that this thing can be cleared, but I had no reason to believe that. And then, as the years went by, people began to hear that I knew a little bit about psoriasis, and they started coming to me. And I had nothing for them, really. But I just kept studying and studying different researchers and all that, and came to general conclusions that the diet is the key.
Really? So even though psoriasis is a lesion of the skin,
Right.
dry, red, flaky
Right.
skin, and eczema, dry skin,
Right.
disabling, disfiguring, but also painful, it's coming from inside the body.
It's coming from inside, and the diet takes place in that eating the wrong foods will trigger it.
Really?
Now, in order to understand psoriasis, you got to go deeper than skin, as we just mentioned. You've got to go into the intestinal tract.
All right.
Mainly the upper intestinal walls.
So when you say the upper intestinal walls, you mean inside the large and small intestine?
Well, the small intestine.
Inside the small intestine.
The jejunum in particular.
All right. So basically, for my reader, for the viewers, you have the stomach. And then after the stomach, it goes into duodenum, and then you go to your small intestine before it gets to your large intestine or colon.
True.
So that's the pathway. Basically, right after your stomach, food goes into your stomach, and then from there it goes into the small intestine.
Correct.
What happens there? Now we can explain.
Well, that first area, the duodenum throughout the jejunum, is the primary area where there's perforations.
Okay.
Perforations within the walls of the intestine.
All right.
They become thin and porous and allow toxic elements that ordinarily should pass through the body and eliminate it to seep through these walls and literally go right on through and get into your bloodstream.
So in other words, our food is supposed to get digested and broken down before it gets absorbed.
Right.
But sometimes things get absorbed because the barrier of the gut is got holes in it, or
Right.
basically it's letting things in that are particles and minerals that are just too big.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly. And ordinarily, they should not be in the bloodstream.
Okay.
You see, so they act as foreign agents, foreign elements.
Got it.
And the body reacts that way. Now, when that toxic element in the bloodstream becomes so overwhelming, what happens is the body's normal eliminatory organs cannot handle the job.
Okay.
So what happens is your body, in its infinite wisdom, kicks in your secondary channel of elimination, your skin, and puts it to work.
Got it.
Now, ordinarily, the skin is not designed to do this, but in an emergency, it is called upon. Then they start throwing the poisons out through the skin. That is your psoriatic lesion. Now, how do we know this is true? Because when you put the person on, or you eliminate the reason for that toxic element, which is mainly your diet,
All right.
the skin will heal over. Don, it'll heal over to the point where you'll never know you ever had the disease.
Okay, so in a moment, I want to talk a little bit more about these dietary impact. You know,
Right.
what people can eat to get rid of their psoriasis, or
Right.
what should they not eat. But let's take a moment to look at that gut barrier.
Right.
That I've heard something called leaky gut.
Right.
Is that what we're talking about?
Exactly.
All right, so we're talking about leaky gut. So it's a two-pronged approach. Get the gut to heal up,
Right.
and then introduce the appropriate foods, correct?
Well, just reverse that.
All right.
Introduce the appropriate foods, and that's what will help heal the leaky gut.
Wonderful. Well,
You see?
let's do it. What are the most common foods that what do we want to talk about? What creates the psoriasis, or what heals the psoriasis? Because it sounds like there's two things.
They go hand in hand, though.
All right.
You see, I have found out that what the patient stays away from is what might bring about the healing itself.
Really?
Right. Now, there are 5 things that people with psoriasis or eczema, lupus, or even many other diseases, they should stay away from and give the body a chance
Well,
to heal.
what are the five no's?
The 5 no's are, number 1, red meat
Red meat.
and
Okay.
processed meat.
All right.
Processed meat and red meat.
Deli meat.
Deli meat, right.
Okay.
Except the one exception is lamb,
All right.
and anything sort of without the fat content within it, lean, like deer or wild game.
Your game meats.
You know,
Okay.
that's permitted.
Sure.
See, the second, and is probably the biggest culprit, is the nightshades.
All right.
Now, of the nightshades, which is many people's favorite, tomatoes and anything to do with tomatoes. I healed one little girl just by taking her off tomato ketchup.
Wow.
And she was a patient she was going to be a patient at one of the New York's biggest hospitals. And they told the parents that your daughter's got psoriasis, make your mind up. She's going to have it the rest of her life. Bring her here twice a week for ultraviolet light treatments.
Wow.
Well, the parents went into a panic, and they learned about me. They came to me the next day, and questioning her, the first month, nothing happened. Then I went over the questions again, and then the mother said to me, Dr. Pagano, I think my daughter eats too much tomato ketchup. I said, well, I told you about tomatoes.
Yeah.
And they didn't make the connection. They thought an actual tomato.
Tomato, yeah.
We got her off that, and she cleared up in a month.
Wow.
Never had it again.
That's great. So those are the first two. We're going to take a short break. Then we come back. We're going to go to the other 3 don'ts for psoriasis sufferers. And then maybe we'll talk about some case studies. Did you bring some case studies for us to look at? That would be fantastic. I'm Dr. Donald DeFabio. My guest is Dr. John Pagano on the natural treatment of psoriasis from the inside out. We'll be right back. Today's chiropractic tip, pediatrics. Children have spines too and can benefit from chiropractic care. The procedures used on children are different than those used on adults. However, if you're looking for a safe, natural, and drugless addition to your current health care for your child, consider chiropractic. It may be just what the doctor ordered. I'm Dr. Donald DeFabio, reminding you chiropractic is more than just back pain. Welcome back to the natural way to better health and wellness. And yes, it's all about healing psoriasis from the inside out without medication, drugs, and surgery. Dr. Pagano, we had talked about the nightshades and red meat being a problem for psoriasis and eczema sufferers. Tomatoes are a nightshade. What are the other nightshades for the viewers that may not be aware of that term?
Well, the nightshades are tomatoes, tobacco, eggplant, white potatoes, peppers, all peppers, and paprika.
Now, come on, I'm an Italian. You're an Italian. How am I going to give away my peppers, my onions, and my tomatoes?
Well,
why are they a problem? You got to give me some good reasons why they're a problem.
All right, I'll give you one line, I'll tell you. The country with the most psoriasis in the world is Italy.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And they are tomatoes, peppers, and so forth. The second and close second is Russia.
All right.
With the white potatoes.
Okay.
And starches.
Okay. Well, you just came back from Russia, didn't you?
Yes. I spoke before the Russian Academy of Science, and the people loved it.
Sure.
I mean, they had no hope before that. Before this, you had to depend upon medical technology, which I have every respect for. But when it doesn't work, people would like to know, is there anything else?
Sure, sure.
And this is it. They have the answer to psoriasis in their own kitchen.
Wow.
And they don't know it.
I like that. So after the nightshades, what else do we need to avoid?
Sweets. Too many sweets, especially in cases of eczema.
Okay.
Too many sweets can do it. And
White
too
sugar.
many starches, white flour products, they all turn to sugar.
Okay.
So stay away from the carbohydrates to a great extent, and even fruit and fruit juice, which is a mainstay in healthy diet. But remember, it's fructose, a lot of sugar.
Are certain fruits in general a problem, or just fructose in general?
No, fructose in general, but stay away particularly of citrus.
Citrus.
Citrus. Stay away from citrus. You can have 1 or 2 fruits a day, but vegetables are the most valuable.
All right.
Green leafy, like romaine lettuce, carrots, and celery.
Okay.
In fact, this is a drink. All right, it's simple as it is.
Well, we're going to hold off on the drinks,
Okay.
because we got to finish 2 more things.
Okay.
We got the nightshades, we got the red meat,
Right.
we have the sugars. What are the other 2 don'ts?
The sugars, alcohol,
Alcohol. All right, makes sense.
including beer,
All right.
and all fried foods.
All right.
Nothing fried.
Got it.
Those are the 5 things that could set them on the road to healing faster than anything else.
So take those out. Now, what do we want to put in?
Mainly green leafy vegetables.
All right, green leafy vegetables.
Green leafy. They should constitute 80%, that is the fruits and vegetables, should constitute 80% of the diet.
So spinach, kale,
anything
collards.
anything
Swiss
like
chard.
that, unless a person has an allergy toward a certain item, you stay away from it, that's all. But fruits and vegetables should constitute 80% of the daily diet. 20% of the daily diet is still important. That's where your meats come in. But the meats are fish in particular, but not shellfish.
Okay.
And then chicken, turkey, wild game,
Okay.
and last would be lamb. Lamb is the only red meat permitted,
All right.
if you wish to use it this way.
All right. So those are the do's.
Right, and
What about
6 to 8 glasses of water a day.
All right. Green tea,
Green tea is
black
fine.
tea. What about
yes,
coffee?
Well, let me mention 2 other drinks that are so important, and that is slippery elm bark powder tea
All right.
and American yellow saffron.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
slippery elm, I'm aware, because it kind of coats your intestinals.
Allows time for those holes to heal.
Got it.
And then the American yellow saffron tea acts as an intestinal antiseptic,
Really?
and it helps cleanse the bacteria, the germs, the viruses, parasites. It helps clear out the intestinal
Good
tract of
tips,
those
good
elements.
tips. Now, I think it's important for the viewers to realize we're talking about the body healing itself.
Yes.
And it's not what you eat, but what you
Mm-hmm.
don't eat. And
Right.
giving your body the chance to heal and work
Mm-hmm.
properly,
Right.
which is a basic tenet of chiropractic, isn't it? 'Cause
Yes,
that's your
basis.
training as a
Yes.
chiropractic doctor. How does
Right.
that fit into the psoriasis picture?
I'll tell you how it fits in. By healing yourself, the first thing that has to take place is that the immune system is activated and in order. Spinal adjustments, particularly of the 6th and 7th dorsal, that's right between your shoulder blades,
Okay.
that supplies the upper intestinal tract. And they should be adjusted. Adjustive techniques that I use, electrotherapy, vibration, activator, anything that stimulates those areas between your shoulder blades activates the immune system of the body. And also, it supplies the nerve supply to the upper intestinal tract, which helps the healing process.
So again, for some of our viewers that may not know what a chiropractic adjustment is,
Right.
essentially it's a treatment along the spine.
Right. Treatment along the spine, activating the nerve roots that emanate from the spinal segments.
And that's important because the nerves control
Right.
every function in our body.
Every function in the body.
Right.
Every function.
So we have diet, we have some chiropractic adjustments, and you've been seeing some really good results, haven't you?
Magnificent.
Magnificent.
I wouldn't be in this work, Don, if it wasn't for the results I get.
I knew of your work back in 1984 when I was in chiropractic school. I know you have some books out on treating psoriasis in your cookbooks and everything, but I'm aware of your work for 30 years or 25. So I'm thankful to have you here on the show. I've shared it with my patients, and I've seen the results with it. But again, you brought some case studies, correct?
Yes, I have.
All right. So we're going to take a little break because I have a treat for my viewers.
Okay.
But I want them to stay on board because then I want to go over your case studies so people can really see what natural treatment and giving the body's chance to heal can really do. But in the meantime, we're going to find out about salt therapy, something a little bit different. Salt therapy at the Respira Salt Wellness Center is going to tell us how that can help you with some of those upper respiratory complaints that are chronic. And it's a little different, but something also from Eastern Europe. I'm Dr. Donald DeFabio, and we'll be right back after we hear from the Respira Salt Wellness Center. It's been around thousands of years, but right now it's in Berkeley Heights. Salt inhalation therapy, it's great to have it available. Our guest is Edya Novick. And what is salt inhalation therapy?
Well, salt therapy is really based on an old concept in Europe where people used to go down into salt mines and notice that their breathing was improved. So doctors started sending them down to improve all types of respiratory ailments. So, we can't go to the caves, so the caves have come to us with modern technology, bridging the gap. So basically what we've done is we've replicated the microclimate of one of these salt chambers. And we've actually improved upon it with a machine called a halo generator.
So we're actually in a salt cave right now.
Yes.
We really are, because all the walls are surrounded by salt.
Yeah.
And it's table salt?
No, this is sea salt.
Okay, so it has a much higher mineral composition, and it's a well known as a healthier form of salt.
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly.
Now, what's this halo generator? How does that work?
Okay, so halos in Greek is salt, so it's really a very simple generator. And what it does is we actually use
So,
Dead Sea salt in our
got it.
halo generator. We believe that's the finest and most healing salt that we could possibly use. What it does is it crushes salt particles to extremely, fine
Microscopic.
microscopic particles, and it emits that into the room. So what's happening is, as you're just relaxing in the room and just breathing normally, or maybe doing a little bit of yogic breaths to, get the process going, these particles are able to get into the deepest part of your lungs and sinuses.
That's great. I mean, I've been recommending aggressive salt therapy for years, and now to have this available for patients is fantastic. You're located in Berkeley Heights.
Right down the street from you.
How about that? How would people get more information about the Respira Salt Wellness Center? How would they find out more about it?
Well, we've got a great website. It's respirasalt.com. And on the website, we've got links to studies that you can check
Great.
out. We're offering a free intro session for anyone who wants to just, come and try it.
Well, who should come down and try salt therapy? What kind of conditions do you normally see?
We see a lot of clients who have asthma. We see a lot of clients who have allergies, all types of respiratory.
Chronic sinusitis, bronchitis,
Exactly.
all those types of things.
People
It's
who
kind
have-
of a slam dunk, isn't it, for any upper respiratory condition?
Yeah, people who have COPD, emphysema.
So it's helps with the healing of the lungs and the respiratory passages, and then does it impact the rest of the body?
Yeah, it's actually, it boosts your immune system.
Wow, great.
And it's very relaxing, which in itself, helps the body heal.
Etcha, what's one thing you would like everybody to know about the Respira Salt Wellness Center?
What I want people to know is that it's safe for both adults and children. And it's natural, it's drug-free, it's, a complementary therapy. And, you should see your doctor, but this can help you reduce your dependency on some very strong medications, like steroids.
So it makes a lot of sense. If we can get the body to work better, you don't need as much medications to manage the acute outbreaks.
Exactly, and the salt has the effect of reducing inflammation, loosening congestion. Think about when you go to the beach. You feel much better in that case. And here it's like the beach multiplied. So in 45 minutes, which is the length of one session, that's what you get. And the other thing is the room is ventilated after each session. So all the air gets pulled out and new air gets pulled in for the next client.
Well, Etcha, thank you very much for your time today. I want to encourage everybody to come down and check out the Respira Salt Wellness Center. But in the meantime, will you do me one favor?
Sure.
Will you please turn on the halo generator on your way out, because I'm going to enjoy my session right now.
Okay.
Thanks a lot for your time. I'm Dr. Donald DeFabio, and I'm going to improve my lungs and respiration right now. Welcome back to the Natural Way to Better Health and Wellness. I'm Dr. Donald DeFabio, and we're going to wrap it up now about psoriasis with Dr. John Pagano. Doctor, you have some very significant case studies you'd like to share with us. And right before we go into those, how come, as a chiropractic doctor, you're treating psoriasis?
Because I'm only using chiropractic methods that I'm trained in.
All right.
I use no medicine whatsoever.
So these procedures are for patients that don't respond to traditional medical care.
Exactly. It is not a replacement for medicine. I tell a patient, if they didn't see a dermatologist before they see me, go to a dermatologist first. See what he has to offer you. Try what he has to offer you. But if for any reason it is not acceptable to you, or you cannot tolerate the treatments, or for one reason or another it doesn't work, then all is not lost.
You have an option.
There's still another way out.
Well, let's see some of those options. Tell me about some of your success cases.
Well, this one particular case was very dramatic. A young girl, 14 years of age, and you can see from her back she had pretty massive psoriasis.
Yeah.
Had it for 5 years.
Wow.
And her mother would tell me that she would just sit up on her bed upstairs and cry all day long because nothing was working.
Mm-hmm.
They brought it to me. We went over everything. I completely went over her case history of what she was eating, and in particular, she was eating too much macaroni and cheese. Every day she would have it, and that's all carbohydrates and fats. See?
Okay.
When I put her on the diet, I gave her the treatment, the spinal adjustments, and showed her how to apply the oils, sent her home. She came back in 2 months with a result like this.
Wow.
Practically nothing
Wow,
left.
that's fabulous. So a common treatment time for an adult would also be 2 months, or do kids have a tendency to respond a little quicker?
Well, the kids respond quicker,
Yeah.
no question about it. But adults can too.
Well, you have any adult cases to share?
Yes, for instance, here's a woman who has it on her lower legs.
Okay.
I mean, about as severe as you'll get it.
It's pretty bad.
Very bad. And her husband was the hero, though. He did the massaging of the legs the way I told him.
Okay.
But the diet is still the key. Without the diet, I cannot get results. No one can. So the combination of the two, she went from this severe state to this complete healing in 6 months.
6 months. So a little bit longer, but still that's reasonable.
One question. She had it before she got to me for 42 years.
Oh my gosh.
42
and results
years.
in 6 months.
6 months.
That's terrific.
She was just thrilled.
Terrific.
You can imagine.
Come on, throw one more at me. You got one more to throw at me?
Well, yeah, very, you know, there's nothing like healing kids,
yes,
children.
Sure.
Not only because you heal them, but because you save them from a life of misery and untold expense and constantly going from one drug to another. Now, this little girl had it for a period of 3 years.
Okay.
And we got her on the regimen. She came in for her adjustments regularly. The diet, she followed every time, made sure she followed the diet, and she went from here to complete healing.
Wow.
In
Look at that.
3 months.
That's fantastic.
3 months.
That's great.
And the thing is, I never have to see them again.
Yeah.
Once I heal a patient, it's amazing, Don. I'm once in a while, once a year,
as long as
somebody
they stick
might
with
call.
their diet.
They know. They know what it's all
know
about,
too.
and the big thing is they lose the fear of it.
Got
They
it.
lose the fear.
Well, it empowers them to take charge of their health.